Namaste and welcome back to Ramakathasudha. Hanuman has returned. The message has been delivered. The armies of righteousness are now marching towards the southern shore. The final great confrontation is about to begin. The Yuddha the chapter of war. We tend to see this as a grand external conflict, a battle between armies, kings, and nations. But the Adhyatma Ramayanam invites us to read this war on a completely different map. It asks us to internalize the entire conflict. What if Lanka is not just an island fortress? What if it is a symbol for the citadel of our own mind, fortified by the ego? And what if the great war of the Ramayana is actually the war that rages within each of us? Let us decode the spiritual allegory character by character. First, the citadel, Lanka. In this map, Lanka is our own body-mind complex. It is a magnificent creation full of potential, but it has been usurped by a tyrannical ruler. The tyrant king Ravana. Ravana is not just a demon. He is the perfect symbol of the Ahankara, the ego. Why does he have 10 heads? This represents the 10 indriyas or senses through which the ego experiences and tries to control the world. The 5 senses of perception, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and the 5 senses of action, speech, grasping, moving, procreating, eliminating. The ego, through these 10 channels, rules our inner kingdom. The demonic army, the Vrittis. Ravana's Rakshasa army represents our own negative mental modifications, the Vrittis that arise from the ego. His brother Kumbhakarna, who sleeps for 6 months and wakes only to consume, is the perfect symbol of tamas, lethargy, deep ignorance, and spiritual inertia that keeps the soul asleep. His son Indrajit, the master of illusion, represents the power of Maya and the occult psychic powers that can delude and distract a spiritual seeker, making them believe they are powerful when they are just trapped in a more subtle illusion. The other Rakshasas are the personifications of our everyday enemies: lust, anger, greed, and envy. This is the army of the ego, ruling our inner Lanka. The divine invader, Sri Rama, and who is the force that comes to reclaim this inner kingdom. Sri Rama represents the Atman, the true self, the pure silent consciousness that is our real identity. His campaign is the journey of the self to liberate its own power and nature from the clutches of the tyrannical ego. Then the divine army, the disciplined virtues. Rama does not fight alone. His Vanara army represents our own disciplined virtues and positive mental faculties, all turned towards a higher purpose. And what is the object of this great war? It is the rescue of Sita. In this internal allegory, Sita represents Chit Shakti, pure consciousness, or the Buddhi, which is the natural concert of the Atman, that is Rama. The ego, Ravana, has abducted our pure consciousness and holds it captive in the garden of worldly pleasures, the Ashoka Grove, surrounded by demonic distractions. The whole purpose of the spiritual life, the entire war of yoga and Vedanta for the self, with the help of disciplined virtues to vanquish the ego and its negative tendencies and reunite with its own pure blissful nature. Every battle in the Yuddha is a symbolic depiction of the inner struggles we face on the spiritual path. The fight against lethargy, the battle to see through illusion, the constant war against anger and desire. This psycho-spiritual mapping transforms the Ramayana from an ancient epic into our own personal moment-to-moment story. The war is not something that happened thousands of years ago. It is happening right now, within you. Lanka is your mind, Ravana is your ego, and Rama is the silent but powerful self, waiting to reclaim his kingdom. Thank you for exploring this inner battlefield with me. If this internal interpretation of the war has given you a new map for your own spiritual journey, please like, share, and subscribe to Ramakathasudha. Jai Shri Ram, Loka Samasta Sugino Bhavantu.